Hey guys, welcome back to another entry of the Dry Diaries. It's your author, Alex Dry, and I am here with Alivia Levie.
Hi, everyone.
She's a good friend and also an amazing actress, model, and now director. We haven't seen each other in quite some time, so this is going to be a little catch-up, just to dig deeper into what she's doing with her career, but also with herself. I do have to say, Alivia is one person I met out here years ago. What, 4 or 5 years ago? It's been like 4 or 5 years.
That's crazy. We're getting old.
Yeah, we're getting old.
No, we're not.
No,
we're
not.
Biohacking and we're getting younger. We're getting younger, but we're getting old.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh, you're young.
I can't wait to get into my 30s. All my friends are in their 30s. And they're like, I love it. Got to get past these 3 years.
No, but at least you're still in your late 20s. I still say to some people, I'm 28.
You look like you're a baby. We're getting older, but I feel like age is not real. I never can guess people's age. It's so much more about what's going on intellectually and in their experience. You could be 45 and get a completely different place than somebody who's like 25 in the opposite direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything you want to add?
No, you really hit the nail on the head. I'm a multi-hyphenate creative. I'm a producer, writer, director. But I'm really focusing on directing right now. And then, of course, we act. We've been acting since we were a little baby. And now I feel like directing is the next step for me.
I love watching your tape auditions that you post.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, they're so good.
We've been getting some good self-tapes. The last couple of years, I feel like in the writer's room, there was not a lot of like great projects, at least coming to me. Recently, I've been getting some really good scripts, so I'm excited.
Is that what inspired you to start writing?
Yeah, I feel like writing is the hardest part about this industry. I give so much credit to the writers. I wouldn't even consider myself a writer because the way that I work is I'll pull on a writer that I love and tell them my general idea of the plot. Then I'll be like, creative control is going to you. There is no ego here because I am not disciplined enough in the writing space to sit down every day and write features. I'm a big idea person. I'm an Aquarius. And so I just feel like I have so many concepts.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, who's amazing? Who can I shine light on and give them something to work on? And then now I have a couple writers that crush it.
So cool.
They're really good. And there's not a lot of great writers either. So I'm lucky for them.
You just bring them on and give them concepts or ideas, and then from there they build out a whole storyline.
We literally build out the storyline together. Something I have a hard time with is writing in a specific voice for multiple characters. Writing in a specific voice. Notes that I used to get when I was writing. By the way, the show that I just finished creating started as journal entries, which a lot of my things start as. I got thrown into that space because of the journal entries, and then they were made into a script. It was a different approach than just writing a full feature or writing a TV show. It's cool to see an idea come from nothing or come from one character, one scene, and then get turned into an entire TV show with all these different characters.
Yeah, I love seeing people's life stories get made into different TV shows. I just finished the show Manhunt.
Oh, I have heard of it. I have not seen it. Is it good?
It's a mix of, my personal take is a mix of somebody's life experience, a little bit of conspiracy, and just thriller. So it's basically this woman who her parents left her, brought her to this guy who ran this school or this mine system. Whoa. And then she started this school. So parents send their kids there, but she injects them with something like doing LSD or ayahuasca or some deep trauma therapy and brings it out of them, and they almost hallucinate. It was just the craziest show.
And it's based on a true story.
I don't know.
But it sounds like it.
I'm like, does this really happen? And I'm sure it does.
Yeah, it sounds a little culty.
Yes,
exactly.
And that's where my conspiracy comes in.
For sure. No, there's so many cults out there.
You know.
It's a real thing.
I know. There's a documentary based on mutual friends, Dancing with the Devil.
Oh, whoa.
The dance cult.
No.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Yeah, there's a dance cult out here in LA. Yeah, it's
scary.
Crazy. Yeah. I used
Scary
to dance with some of those people. Yeah.
You did? Wait, you got out.
Yeah, I wasn't in the cold.
You said, I'm not doing that.
No, I never even had the offer, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, she's too good. She's too good. We're not going to get her.
I didn't get too deep into that. But it was just crazy seeing people fall into something like that and how easy it is, especially people in LA. It was during COVID. I feel like that's a very vulnerable time, especially for creatives, financially and also emotionally, booking jobs. And
that was an easy time for them to cling on to something.
It was really surreal seeing them. I'm like, whoa. But okay, speaking of journaling, I love to journal too. What is something that you're super grateful for right now?
It's really funny that you say that because I feel like I've been thinking about this recently. I'm thinking about where I used to be 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, just moving to LA. It can be really easy to get into this space and think about, okay, cool, I finished that. Now, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And you get caught up in this workaholic lifestyle that is, I have to keep moving and I have to keep creating things. I've been having a lot of hard conversations with friends about this because it can be really easy to fall out of the gratitude space and remember why you're doing it. I'm just really grateful to be able to do what I do as an artist. It's really cool to be able to sit down and today I have to write voiceover. That's my job. Yeah. Or today I have to look at the dailies or go through post-production things. It's really something that not everybody gets to do. And so I'm just trying to remind myself every day that, wow, this is my job. Younger me, of course, would be so stoked. You'd be like, that's insane. You're not working at a coffee shop. That's crazy that this is how you make your money and it's doing what you love. So I just have to constantly remind myself of that all the time. And I'm so grateful for that.
I love how you said younger me because I've also been practicing more inner child work. So crazy to start stepping into that and realizing, okay, what would younger Alex want? Or what would she be proud of? And just remembering the little things of, oh, you had this dream, you accomplished it. You should be grateful for that.
That makes me emotional to think about you like that. I'm seeing your inner child, like the little girl in you. It's really cool.
And when I got Reiki, it was the craziest thing because he was walking me through different emotions and it really just stuck to me. 10-year-old Alivia, she's like crying. She's hurt. You need to give her a hug and tell her everything's going to be okay and you're going to get through it. That 10-year-old you is going to look back and be so proud. And I was just like, oh my God.
Were you just literally like tears streaming down your face?
Yeah, it was just really surreal. And it wasn't even like I was crying. I was unintentionally crying. So I feel that's how you know you're in the session.
Yeah.
But
you're doing some like serious subconscious work there.
Do you practice inner child work a lot?
I do. And I feel very in touch with my inner child. And I feel like sometimes for better or for worse, right? Like my inner child was an awkward, overweight, really just where the burrito's at kind of girl. Yeah. Genuinely, she would have been, there's no way that she could have ever been a model. In her brain, she was just really badly bullied for the way that she looked and for loving theater and loving singing and music and like all of these things. And so I think about her often when I go into an audition, especially for modeling, because that was not in her world. I had no idea that was going to happen. Well, I'm always trying to do things that get me in touch with my inner child. And I've been thinking about wanting to dance more and wanting to sing more and getting outside and playing, painting, writing for fun, like not for work, but for fun. And just doing things that are playful. I feel like most women are called to nature. And I think that's something that's so powerful. Always brings me back to my inner child. Going to Ojai and being in the springs or just running around for fun on a hike. So many of the little things are very inner child.
I was afraid of what other people would think. Us skipping down the street, whatever, who cares? Before, oh, that's going to look dumb or scared of outside opinion. And I've just realized at the end of the day, people only really care about themselves, especially in LA.
Amen. People
just do what you want.
So ego related. I feel 5 years ago, I was really scared to even take a deep breath in the yoga class because I didn't want people to hear me. And it was my internal ego. Nobody cares. And then I started doing it and you start to listen. Like 5 other people take deep breaths because you're taking up space and it gives other people the ability to take up space too. Now, when I'm around people that take up space, I'm in my healthiest position when I'm around people that are confident, that are in their power, that are like, this is who I am, because it makes me feel like I can take up space also. Trying to judge it or shadow it or dim that light, I can't be around those people.
And I feel like you've always been that way ever since I've met you. You just carry such a bright light and you always are yourself. Actually, earlier I was getting my hair blown out and
Looks slay.
It was a
You never have a
mess.
bad hair day. Every time I see this girl, it's, her hair is
No.
Victoria's Secret. She should catch her in the next Victoria's Secret show.
Coming from the model.
Look at her.
No, but he was asking me who's on the podcast today. I was like, Alivia, and I was showing him. She just has this light, and she has the best personality, and it's just so bright and bubbly, but also she's just unapologetically herself all the time. And he was like, oh my God, I can't wait to listen. We love a confident queen.
We love a confident queen. I feel like everyone should, you only have one life. You're only going to live this life once. If it's making you happy, you should do it.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Do you think you, when you're little, being bullied and overweight, is that why you have stepped into your confidence?
Yeah. I think that time was really tough. It was for sure preparing me for this industry. Yeah. It's like, even just people say, how do you let go of auditions? Or if you don't get something, what do you do about it? Does it bother you? What do you do? Honestly, I don't even think about that stuff. There were so many people that didn't want me to win and didn't want me to succeed and were constantly trying to dim that light, take that away from me. I needed to move through it back then, and I did. I moved through it, and it was really hard. But now in my adult life, it's like muscle memory, and it's just in there. Honestly, it propels me even further when people don't believe in me, because I'm like, I will show you. I will show you that this is not what's going to happen. And I think that's the best advice for any creative. You have to be audacious, and you have to show people when they don't believe in you that you need to believe in me, and this is why.
Even going through, it's like a karmic thing of stepping into it, knowing your purpose and stepping into your passions. I feel like it's because you're so bold and confident and knowing your purpose. You don't base your worth off of a negative audition.
What's meant for me is meant for me, and what's not meant for me is not meant for me. I feel like there's been so many times that I've seen that when you go through life and you're like, oh, I wonder why that didn't happen. And then later on you find out why, and you're like, oh, that was really actually protection. Thank God I didn't book that movie, or thank God I didn't do that job, or whatever it may be.
Speaking of, Alivia was just on a billboard.
I was on a billboard. You're so sweet to bring that up.
That was so cool. I was so proud of you. You looked stunning.
Thank you.
What brand was it for?
It was for Natasha Tonic, which is like the sustainable female-owned swimwear, athletic wear company. Really cool.
Did you know it was going to be for a billboard placement when you were shooting it?
It was random. It literally was like one of those opportunities that comes in at the weirdest time. I had so much travel going on. I was going to my best friend's wedding, and then I was supposed to go to Nepal to shoot this documentary, and it was in between.
That's so cool.
There was one. Oh yeah, we can talk about Nepal. That was a crazy project. But it was my friend Gemma, who's an amazing photographer. She was like, hey, Livia, there's this job. It's really last minute. It's going to be on a billboard in Silver Lake and Sunset Boulevard. Do you want to do it? She was like, you're my first choice. And I immediately was like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it. Let's go. Gemma's amazing. She shot for Vogue. She's fucking... Am I allowed to swear on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's fucking awesome. And the brand too, it was just one of those alignment moments where I don't want to just represent any brand. If it doesn't align with my values, I don't really want to be on a billboard for a brand that doesn't align with my values. This was just one of those things where I love female owners, I love independent women, and I love the fact that it's sustainable.
Yeah.
It was just so cool. I'm always trying to be better at sustainability, but
that's so cool.
Yeah, it was literally like down the street from my house. I would be like driving to get coffee, and then I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's literally me. And
you're like, take that, all you haters.
Yeah, literally, I was like, wait, I'm on a billboard. And it's the type of thing too where it's such a woman kind of photo. Like, it was very womanly, and it was really beautifully done. It wasn't over sexualized. It was
so aesthetic. I loved it. I was like, wow, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
It was really cool to see. Okay, Nepal.
So, Nepal, I am a based on a true story director. Love. Nepal was this project for a charity called Wherever You Go Foundation. It's run by my really good friend Josh, who is an incredible human. He's been going to all of these different countries and making friends in these places, figuring out what they actually need. Because there's a lot of people that do charity work, but they maybe donate things that the people don't actually need. And then the people are, hey, we don't really need this stuff. We actually need this stuff. He approached me and wanted me to direct this documentary, which is actually a docu-series. It's about the foundation, and each specific episode is about each country. So we started with Nepal. It was a really powerful piece. It was a really powerful experience. I have never been to a foreign country. I love humanitarian work. I love philanthropy. I want to do more of that. These people have so much resilience and strength, but they have nothing, obviously. There's these mountain villages that kids go to, and you see this tiny girl carrying a massive bottle of water over her head.
Wow.
And then we went to the slums, and there's a lot of stories in the slums. These people are offering me an umbrella because it started to rain. It's really crazy to me that a community can have nothing, but they're so willing to give everything.
When I went with my experience, I was like, wow, these people are filled with
So much joy.
but yet have nothing. The society we live in, because it's like a materialistic, you can quickly get into that because everything is so accessible to us. You get a high from shopping online. Whereas these people, water is hard to get. They have such a pure joy about their heart and the way they live.
They're so connected. They sit around a table and they actually speak to each other. They're so excited to learn. These kids it's a privilege to be able to learn. And I think in the United States, it's one of those things that gets really taken for granted. We donated a bunch of workbooks. They're like ripping open the workbooks. Just can't wait to get inside of that information and can't wait to use their imagination and draw. And we're giving them pencils. They're really hard goods for them to get. People throw a pencil here. They just take it for granted. They throw away paper, rip a page out, throw it away. It was so beautiful to see how connected they were, how grateful they are. And also just the fact that we can support these people and we can support them in their dreams because they have the biggest dreams. There was this one girl and she was like, I want to be a rock star and I'm going to be a doctor and I'm going to have my motorcycle and I'm going to drive to do surgery and then I'm going to drive to my show. And I was like, yes, you are. And you're going to do it because you believe in it and because it makes you happy. It makes other people happy. They're not thinking about it for money or fame. They're just thinking about these things because they love them. They want to experience that. And it really did put things into perspective for me. How lucky I am, how lucky we all are, how there's a lot going on in other parts of the world, you guys. I know it's really overwhelming here in the United States, but there's a lot going on in foreign countries, and we need to talk about those stories too.
Yeah.
So.
And we have the resources. Go out, and I've talked about this so much on the podcast. Travel was one of the main life-changing things for me. Getting out and seeing different cultures, the way different people live, hearing their stories, and also disconnecting. People can see it as a negative. I took it as a positive. I disconnected myself from anything here.
Wow.
Except like the work obligations I had.
Yeah.
And just was present in that moment of the people I was with, who I was meeting, and just like living, just going with the flow in a lot of ways.
That's so nice.
And it was great. It was just such a good experience. I would love to do something like that. Go to different countries and just hearing their stories and how you can help. Was Nepal the only place y'all went?
Yeah, so I was going to go to Uganda, but unfortunately, it's really dangerous in Uganda for me to go. So the founder of the foundation didn't feel safe bringing me there. Of course, it's an unfortunate liability because there are people that die. There's a lot of raids in the villages where, unfortunately, they just go in, steal everything, and kill everyone. It's really scary. But they're doing Mexico, Uganda, Haiti when Haiti is opened back up again. But yeah, we're taking this Nepal piece and we're going to pitch it to National Geographic and really try to get this thing out there because there's not a lot of awareness around this. It's really bad for human trafficking there. They need a lot of help. And so I'm really ready to go into it.
Did you get one-on-one with people's stories, or was it more so on the foundation itself?
Yeah, no, it was not really about the foundation. Thank God for the foundation. We were able to go there and meet with our host, whose name is Jay, and he owns Promise Child, which is a religious affiliated company, doing great work. It's the most beautiful thing. Jay is amazing, and Josh and Jay have been friends forever. The beautiful thing was I had never been to Nepal before. I wouldn't have gone there without Josh and Jay's support, making sure we were safe and everything was good. But yeah, it was incredible. I miss it all the time.
Congrats.
Oh, thank you. I just really feel like it was a necessary story to tell. And I want to tell more of those stories for sure.
And being able to do that as a job is crazy.
My gosh, yeah, it was incredible. I mean, I think that now every time I go to a foreign country, I want to see every aspect of that country. Experiencing and talking to people and hearing their stories in the slums and in the leprosy colonies and all of these different places. I feel like you really need to see it all to understand a country. Yeah. A lot of people go to a country and they're like, I'm just going to go into the touristy areas. But maybe next time you go somewhere, you lend some hands in some of the communities that really need help to understand the entirety of the community.
Basically just immersing yourself within a family that lives there. I want to do that in Brazil. I want to go stay with a tribe.
That would be amazing.
For a week. And basically you just go, you stay with them for 1 week and you do everything that they do. It's very spiritual, mud baths. I think that they do ayahuasca, which I've never done. So I don't know.
It comes into the ether every now and again.
Yeah.
And I definitely am really curious. I've heard so many good things about it. Yeah, it's like a powerful thing.
Yeah.
It can be dark, but also that's a point.
This is something that they're doing on a regular basis because it's a part of their culture and what they do. But if I was to do it, I think that that's who to do it with because they're shamans and like healers and everything that live within the tribe.
Oh, wow.
So you do it with them. Basically just do everything daily what they do. You're just stepping into their life. Yeah.
I know about that.
The guy that does the Reiki told me about it. I'll have to keep you updated because I'm like, I want a friend to come with me, but who would do it? Maybe or you.
I would love to do it. I really want to do more humanitarian stuff.
What are you working on right now?
I am in post-production. We are so close of this series called the Tunnel Vision series. It's based on a true story. This was my first ever real narrative directorial piece. I've directed commercials and short films, but this was the real thing. And we shot it over the last year. It's taken so much of my life. But I wouldn't have it any other way. There's been seasons where I'm like, I just want it to be done. We did have interest from a major studio, which is exciting. And that's why we made the whole thing. I went into that meeting, got called in from a producer, went into the meeting and shared these journal entries that were not even a script. They were about where I grew up. They were about elements of my life, my family's life, especially my mom and dad, and little sister. And I just morphed it into something else, a fictionalized version of a family growing up in Northern California. When I pitched this show to the producer, he thought it was so interesting. He had never heard of this location before. He just thought it was really good for a TV show. And so he was like, I think you should make a proof of concept. So I found investors and I made the whole thing. It was the biggest project I've ever done. So we're in post-production for that. It's looking so good. Now we're submitting to a few festivals. We're also just gonna now shop it to every studio. So we're taking different meetings with many different, like 10 different production companies and studios. And we're gonna sell this thing and it's gonna get made into a real show.
That's so crazy.
I know. And it's insane because there's so many creatives. You have to remember that life imitates art and art imitates life. It was so beautiful, but also hard to make this. And I think that's the point. Yeah. I'm just really grateful for everyone who was a part of it. All of the actors genuinely did it because they loved the story. And that was amazing. My DP, who now is in film school in Australia, I've known him since I was 8 years old. So he grew up in the same area, knows all the places. It's such a beautiful location, but it's a weird place. Really affluent. Everyone's beautiful. Everyone's smart. Everyone's athletic. Everyone's going to Stanford. Just this bubble.
This is where you grew up.
This is where I grew up. It's about the show. So it's this weird place where there's a lot of money, but there's also a lot of darkness underneath it all. When you're growing up there, you don't really know. You're like, why is my family so fucked up? But everybody else's family is perfect? What is that? And yeah, then you grow up and you realize that no, nobody's family was perfect and dysfunction actually is normalcy. And so that's what the show is. It's like everybody's the hero, everybody's the villain, and you get to see it from everybody's perspective, which I think is really cool.
I love that. That's so relatable. I grew up in Fort Worth and it's very much old money bubble. My dad didn't come from money, so we weren't old money, whereas everyone around me mostly was. Wow. And I went to my dad in 6th grade and I was like, Dad, are we poor? And he was like, no, what are you talking about? So in 6th grade, I got my first checking account and my dad would put $50 a month or something in it. I realized, like, hindsight, because my parents got a divorce and they would fight and we weren't old money. Looking from a 10-year-old, 15-year-old Alex, I was like, oh, we're poor compared to all these people. And their families are so perfect. Their parents are together. And now looking, you know, where I'm at now is no. There's a lot that goes on, and even the most perfect people and families still have their dysfunction.
Yeah, that's so interesting to know about your life. I think it forces you to grow up and see a lot of aspects that maybe children shouldn't see, but it's also probably made you into a really driven and high-achieving girl you are today. I feel that way. We were a middle-class family living in the 1%. I worked from the day that I could work at 15 and a half all the way through. None of my friends had any concept of money. Nobody knew, nobody cared. It wasn't talked about. But it's like we in a family where it was discussed and we did see it. They just didn't have trillions and trillions of dollars to spoil their kids. But I'm grateful that we had to work and have a concept of money. I think that's why we're so driven. That's why we can be female entrepreneurs, make our own money and be our own bosses.
What do your parents think about this TV show? Because one from your hometown is going to see it.
This is the most audacious thing I've ever done. When I got this opportunity, I told my family about it. And of course, there was some hesitation. I interviewed my family, and I have on-camera interviews of some of my family members to understand their childhood, their lore, their mental health. I think once they realized that this is a true story in some aspects, and that especially my father is so happy for me and is so proud of me because I'm turning this into art. He thinks that's really beautiful. But there were a lot of hard conversations to have of, I'm going to be making this, but I want you guys to be protected, and it's fiction. It's not real. And we're rewriting stories and characters. This is what TV is. Saying that to them, they're not in the industry. I didn't grow up with anybody in the industry. So they don't really know. They just know what they see. And now I showed my dad his episode. He loved it, and I'm about to show my mom.
So cool moment to have with your parents.
Yeah, for sure. And I think everyone should interview their parents. Like, something that my mentor told me to do, the goodness of like his life and his reflection, but he had them on tape. So now I tell everyone, record your parents because you'll know them better. At least you'll understand their life. There's so many questions that everyone has, and one day you're not going to have them anymore, and you're not going to be able to ask those questions. So they're really excited to answer your question. They're really excited about the show. They can't wait for it to get picked up and are just waiting on the edge of their seat. They don't understand how long this takes, how many layers this is, how many seasons it has to go through with composition and sound and coloring and all of this stuff, and then also just shooting the thing and
finding the right people for. Did you do all the casting for it too?
I pretty much did. We had one of my actors actually recommended this amazing actress. Her name is Sarah, and she plays my mom. She plays Lila. But other than that, I had a few people, like I posted some things on Instagram, a few people referred people, but like I love pulling in actors that I already know are gonna crush it. Like I pulled in this amazing actress, Emma. She goes by Violet now. But I've known since I was 13 years old. She is playing the version of me in this. She's seen all of it, so I cast her. And then this other girl, Jean, who's crushing it. You guys are going to see her win Oscars one day. She's so good. She's already won so many awards for Best Actress. Wow. She's also a director and a producer. But I was like, you're going to play this role. I don't even need to see an audition. It was so fun to pull actors in because I'm an actor and I understand, like, you're just waiting for somebody to give you a dream role.
I know. I have such respect. I would need to go into a class with people to get over the fear of, because one-on-one, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, I'll be weird today. Like, what are we doing?
The sassy girl, let's do it.
I think it's so beneficial for like anybody to take acting classes.
So therapeutic. It's beautiful. Crazy.
It's a gift to be able to play a different character and empathize with a different circumstance that you would never be able to be in. Say you're going to be the wife of a man who is having an affair and you have 3 kids and he's the financial supporter of your family and you're really unhappy. It just puts you in a really niche thing that you would never be able to get to experience. So that's really dope.
Putting yourself in their shoes in that position. That's amazing, having a background in modeling, acting, writing, producing, and now putting your own story into a show.
Yeah.
It's going to be a series.
Yeah, it's going to be a series.
Yeah. Into a series. That's so surreal. Finding the investors to do it. I'm more business minded. I'm thinking from a business standpoint of finding investors to start a business. It's similar for a movie, a TV production. How do you start? Where do you begin? And also it's different because these people have to believe in the storyline.
Yeah, that's actually the most important part.
So how do you go about it? Through friends of family or just different ways?
Random people.
Yeah.
Random people. In the beginning, I pitched a few different people that are not really in the film industry, but are great supporters of mine and have posed that they want to make something with me. A lot of coffees, a lot of lunches, and a lot of talking to people and just being fully honest with them. Having my budget already and understanding how much can I make this for that's the cheapest amount possible. And that was insane. Like, doing the budgeting for a movie or TV show is crazy. It's really hard. And that definitely wasn't something I had experience with. So being honest with them about what it's going to take to make it, and then going back and saying, hey, can I have a little bit more money? We have to finish the post-production, or I'm planning a premiere. But everyone was really grateful, and we have contracts in place when I sell the show. They recoup the amount of money and all that business stuff. And I think that everyone really relates to this piece because it's such a collective experience, and no matter what, you're going to relate to one of these characters, whether it's the son or the mother or the father. And that's something that I found within these meetings is so interesting to hear people relate to stories that are real, that have happened to me and my family and also to them. And now it's become a story that's very much not my own story, but it's just the collective experience of this, which is sick. I'm happy people relate to it.
I'm also just learning. Would it be like a production company picks it up?
Yeah. So usually, like, I just got off of a meeting with my mentor, and he's been helping me so much with this, like, with the business stuff. You usually go in with a production company and then a streamer. Since this is already a proof of concept, people could buy it flat out for what it is. That's not what I want to happen. I would love for it to be made into a real show.
So they take it, they have a bigger budget, and they either cast who you...
I want to have creative control because I want to give these actors and people in my crew the opportunity to do the show. Like, they're already in the character, they're already them. Why not just put them out there? And everybody wants to see new faces anyway. And they're amazing. They make it so good. It would have been awful without them. Without these all-star performances, it just wouldn't be good because it's so much about the characters and the scenes and the dialogue and the layers of these characters. They go so deep. You go with the production company, and then you can get a studio on board, and with the production company, they'll usually fund a certain amount. They'll be one of your financiers, and then you pull in other financiers and they'll match the amount. And then, of course, if you do get specific talent signed on, they're more willing to fund it, put more money to it. It's really a business.
I know. And it's so interesting for people who don't know that watch these shows. Most of them start off like you.
Look at Nora.
Yeah. I haven't seen Nora.
You would love it.
Really?
Oh my God. It's
I have
amazing.
to watch it.
It was an independent film made for no money. And it was the first independent film to ever win an Academy Award for Best Picture.
Wow.
No studio was attached to that.
That's crazy.
So it's just going to show what is being left behind, like the old ways of entertainment. And I really feel like it's the indie filmmakers right now. It's the go out and get what you can get, you guys, and just make something, because you can make something with honestly not that much money as long as you pay and compensate your crew. That's something that I definitely stand by. Everybody deserves to get paid. I wish that we could have paid people even more. We really were down to the wire. And then, of course, you can make something for $5,000 that could be one of the best pieces in the world. And I think that's where a lot of artists get stuck. They're like, oh, I don't have the money to make something like this. I, at one point, thought that too. I would have never been able to make this without the investors. So thankful for the investors. You know who you are.
Is there any other projects you're working on that you want to chat about?
Yeah.
I have 1,000 products coming.
So, with this being said, I'm trying to refocus in my artistry and back to our original question of the inner child and bringing that back in. I think it's easy to get ahead of myself and be like, all right, what's the feature?
Yeah.
Like, I have an amazing writer friend of mine is writing a movie about Audrey Hepburn.
You would be perfect.
Oh my God. Thank you. I would love to play her. I feel that there's not a truthful story about her, and there needs to be one. We're not going to get too much into it, but he's writing that, and once that's done, I'm going to send it and try to get the rights to that. I really want to tell that story, and that would be like a full feature. I think we would shoot it in Italy because it's beautiful, and in Europe in general because that's where she lived and grew up, and there's a lot of really beautiful period architecture out there. But yeah, there's that. And then I have a film coming up in December that I'm acting in. I have a movie coming out that's almost done in post-production. They're taking meetings right now for distribution. It's called She Listens Alone, so look out for that. I also think in waves, like you need to work and then you need to refocus. I'm an Aries rising. Yeah. I constantly work. I'm my father's daughter in that sense, and I think that it's also important to get it back into your inner child. Like, I'm excited to go back for home for the holidays, be in nature and be with my family and fill my artistry cup up, and then take that and put it back into the work. So that's pretty much like the big things we have going on. There's a bunch of smaller projects, other scripts that are being written, and things that are in very pre-production space. There's this really good script being written for me from the last writer that I did the movie on, and he's really good, and we have interest from this one production company. So there's so many different irons in the fire.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's so exciting.
I could just come here and feel so good about myself. Like, my imposter syndrome will just leave the room because Alex Dry is here.
No, I'm actually serious too, and you know that I don't lie. Like, so genuine. I love the Audrey Hepburn thing because I was listening to the Giggly Squad maybe a month ago, and they were discussing who would be the best person to play her.
Saw this on Deadline.
Yes, did you?
I did.
Who'd they say? Lily Reinhard.
They casted it. I forget her name. She's a great actress. She looks like her for sure. There's a lot of lore on Audrey. We're looking to tell her truth in our script. There's the whole movie star aspect of her and all of that. But there was a lot of other layers. There's a lot of layers that talk more about her humanitarian efforts, more about what she actually wanted to do. She actually really didn't want to be a movie star. A lot of people don't know that about her. She was a philanthropist, huge in UNICEF. That is where her career ended because she passed away early. This is going to be more about her as an actress, like this Deadline.
Yeah.
But I just really want to tell her humanitarian story, and it's really good so far. And I think that her family will also appreciate that, because the thing with these biopics, like the Marilyn biopic and some of these other biopics, they're awful. They, like, how could you tell a story about somebody that's so iconic and is no longer with us and do them like that?
I have a question. As an actress and also seeing all sides of it, you have to fully immerse yourself into the character. And whenever you're working on a movie for a year, that's a long time. And you're going in and out of this character throughout the week for long periods of times, or usually it's every week you guys are filming, right?
Yeah, we were filming a lot. When you're filming a movie, you're filming like 6 days, and then you have a day off, and then you're filming another 6 days.
Yeah, so you're like fully into this character to depict the character correctly.
Yes.
You can get really deeply immersed into a character where you start to almost take on who that character is into your day-to-day outside life. How do you separate the two to where it's almost like you don't have bipolar syndrome?
I think that this is a really common question people wonder about. I think all of us actors are also still wondering about it. When you're an actor, the personal thing about being an actor is that you can really easily emotionally connect to any character. The downfall of that is like what you're saying. You have the cases where Heath Ledger or just a lot of different people that have been really iconic artists that unfortunately are no longer alive because of that. There's also stories with Will Smith in his book about how a marriage ended. I believe that's what it was, because he was in love with the character in the movie and he couldn't fall out of love with her. So it affected his marriage and real life. The breath work, like a lot of the spirit, this is why actors are like woo woo. It's not even, they're just genuinely using these tools to move through this stuff. You're so connected in something, you're going to start to think it's real. You're going to start to feel like it's real, it's in your body. So how can you relinquish that? Breath, like any Wim Hof stuff, credible meditation, really good. Reminding yourself at the end of the day that this isn't real. Saying it out loud and being like, this isn't real. Looking at yourself in the mirror and doing a bit of mirror work to remind yourself of who you actually are and all of that stuff. It might seem insane, like it sounds crazy and it sounds, but genuinely you have to do that stuff or else you might drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of dark roles, and I think that those are some of the most beautiful roles. It's because it's so hard to get out of it, and it's a skill. A lot of actors don't go into this industry because they want to be famous. They're going into this industry because they want to use this emotional intelligence that is also very intense and deep. And this is one of the things that you can do as a career. I feel like those are the things I did in the movie there was a panic attack scene and I started to throw myself into a panic attack, like a real one. My hands started clamping and cramping and couldn't move them during the take. The DP at the end of the take was like, "Are you okay?" He was like, "Are you all right?" That felt like it was real. And I was like, "Yeah, it was real." I just took myself into the other room, put my headphones on immediately, and I put on some really opposite type of music. And I just got myself out of it. I was singing, touching my body, and eventually you get back to your reality. But I also think that's what makes the performance so good. If it's believable, it was real. Like, I really was having a panic attack in that moment. But I didn't want anybody in the crew to know. So then I took myself into the other room and had some tea, and I was okay. But that's a really good question.
Yeah, but it really is a skill that actors have.
On top of that, so many auditions or movies you get are spiritually connected to your life. I don't know if other actors feel that way, or directors, but that character was real because there were moments in the story that were real to me and it had happened to me. Something happened on set the first day I got there when I was in my hotel room and I checked in. We had a really late shoot and I got back and I saw in my window that somebody had tried to break into my hotel room. This was a psychological thriller about Sabrina, who is being stalked by her patient. It was a strange thing. It helped for the character. They moved me rooms. Production was like, we are obviously so sorry. We don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's funny because the story sometimes connects to your life, which makes it even harder, but then also it makes it more believable. I feel like a lot of actors can relate to that.
Yeah, even when you audition, you're probably more connected to the story and putting yourself in that role because you've been there prior.
Yes,
totally. That's when I'm like, the world works in perfect divine timing.
Oh, yeah. It was a crazy, weird situational thing, too.
It's more so like broad storylines and personal characters that go through certain things.
Yeah.
You can almost tell, too, like when they're acting, I'm like, oh, you've been through this. Or you're a freaking amazing actor.
Yeah.
You can almost feel it. I'm such an empath. I'm like, I feel this.
That's probably why you would be such a good actress.
If anything, it's just a fun hobby and also therapeutic. Yeah. There's nothing to lose from doing it, you know?
I'm going to be like, Alex, you're going
Little me used to be like, there's a video and it's, next up, Alex wins a Grammy for the mean girl at school.
Wait,
and my mom's like, Alex.
Are you being joking? This is a real video?
A video. I had to send it to you.
Please send it to me.
It's literally one of my sisters and she's in here. I'm like,
oh my God.
It's not your award.
Oh my God. That's so good. I love that.
It's on my mom's camcorders. She switched them into home tapes. Maybe she has the original copy of me in school and it's, what will you be when you're older? And I designed swimsuits. And I was like, oh, even though I stepped away from that for a little bit, it doesn't matter.
You did it.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you were that in touch with your future world from being such a young kid. That's not normal.
Really?
I feel like that's like an old soul thing, knowing from a young age, this is what I'm going to do. I feel like a lot of people go through many different things when they're a kid. I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to design bikinis. I'm going to have a swimwear line.
Yeah, I said my main things was like, I want to be a Lakers dancer.
Obsessed.
I want to be an actress and then a swimsuit. And I'm sure I had other things. I was just like, I love to be seen.
She said, I deserve attention.
And then
I need it.
And then over time, you shut down. Life happens. And then I'm like, okay, no, I'm getting back to the root.
That's a good point because I feel like the attention thing or wanting to feel seen when you're a little kid, that is definitely something I could relate to. That is why I started acting as the middle child in the family. Now I don't really feel the urge as much to be seen. I would rather be felt, to look back and say, wow, that's growth. I don't need to feel like I have attention all the time, you know, and make a purpose or to change. Yeah. And that's growth within your adult self. Now you're just doing acting for fun. And there might be a movie that comes out of it, who knows? But your intention is different. You're not doing it for that reason anymore. Now you're doing it just because you love it. That's really cool.
I'm finally for the first time stepping into things. I'm like, I just want to try it and I love it instead of doing it for money. That is also a huge thing with you starting out, like you said, you're the middle child and none of your family is in the industry or entertainment space.
No.
What is that? And also the leap of faith you had to take to one, come out here, pursue modeling, acting, and then even go into directing.
I feel like I just saw like the last 6 years, 7 years, like flash. Yeah. I lived in Hawaii for a year. I went to University of Hawaii because I was scouted by this makeup artist who was really connected, and her name's Bianca. She was the first person to ever really be like, oh, you should be a model. We were renting an Airbnb there and she was watching the Airbnb. So she was like, you should go to college here. I'll connect you with the casting director for Hawaii Five-0. You'll start doing background work. We're going to get you ready for LA.
Had you thought about anything in the entertainment industry?
I always wanted to be an actor. Ever since I was like 7 years old, I wanted to be an actor, and I loved being different characters. It just gave me the space to be weird. I think every kid should do it. But then I was singing, and then I was dancing, and I was like, wait, I don't really want to be a singer. I don't want to go on tour, and I don't want to do any of that. But I love to sing and I love musicals. So then I was like, oh, I'll do Broadway. And then I did a Broadway camp. I was like, that's really cool, but holy shit, you're not going to be making any money from that. Really tough, really competitive. And yeah, just to book an ensemble role, crazy. So then I was like, maybe film TV. And this was just a synchronicity thing. She connected me with this casting director. I then was thought of to do stand-in work. I did some stand-in work for Jumanji and like some other things. Then I was doing some featured work. Then I got bored of Hawaii.
The invisible strength theory is such a huge thing, because think about if you would never book that Airbnb, you would have never met her, and then all the opportunities that came from it, and then you moving on. Is that not crazy to think about?
That makes me emotional a little bit. I like don't think about it that deeply anymore, but thank you for reminding me of that.
No, but it's just a crazy Airbnb booking.
What
That's
are the
insane.
odds?
Yeah.
It was definitely meant to happen. I'm glad I didn't move directly to LA from Northern California. That girl was not ready. I was going to set in Hawaii, and they're like, oh, it's okay if you're late. It's Hawaii. I needed that to inch into it. I started modeling there, and then I was ready. After a year, I moved to LA. I was still in school. I never wanted to go to college, but I did because my parents paid for my college education, thank God. I was not going to say no to a free education.
And your parents supported you moving to LA for acting. They supported your whole career throughout
My
this.
mom was really stressed. She was like, Alivia, because she lived in LA in her 20s. So she was like with Rod Stewart, like she was a group, she was partying, doing extracurriculars. And she was just like, I don't want that to be you. Please don't have that be you. And I heard that all the time growing up. And I was horrified. I was a really independent child and I'm ready to do what I was going to do. My dad had a lot of hesitation about me doing this. He thought there were other things I could have been doing that maybe would have been smarter. He didn't really believe in this career. I don't want to say he didn't believe in me, but when I started to make money and support myself doing what I love, he was like, this is great. And honestly, I'm so happy for you. And he's so proud of me now. But my mom always believed in me. She was just really worried for me. She's right. This city can really chew you up and spit you out.
Especially the entertainment industry.
There's a lot of stuff to get lost in. What I love about LA is it's like all of these people with huge dreams. Nobody believed in them. And that's why they're here. They're here because they believe in themselves. And with that, you can, of course, get lost in, I'm going to go out to these parties and I'm going to try to network and I'm going to try to get seen, or somebody's going to cast me in something from doing this. It's
the whole Diddy.
Oh my God.
We've heard so much about it.
Yeah. No, that's a real thing. Like, obviously now everyone knows it. It's true. It's been happening for a long time. And all the way back to Nickelodeon, all the way back to Dan Schneider and like all of that stuff. It's really dark. So you have to just be careful in those settings. But I got a lot of my like, let's get fucked up, let's do drugs, let's do alcohol, let's do it all in high school, and let's have sex and let's fuck around. And I got it out of my system. So when I came to LA, I was like, this is fun and everything, but I'm really focused.
Yeah.
Like I'm focused on what I'm going to be doing. I'm taking people to coffee all the time. I'm helping my friends with their creative agencies. I'm doing art direction. I'm doing all these different things. And I think that that's the best way to go about a creative career. Discussion about find your niche and stick to your niche. I do not believe that. Why would you do one thing your entire life, only stinting your growth by doing that? I basically just found my people and collected a bunch of incredible people along the way, and people that I believed in, people that I really saw their end game. And I was like, we share the same values and we're going to come up together. You want good people around you. And now it's been 8 years of living here, and I've seen people come, I've seen people leave. I've seen many different stories of what this entertainment world is like in LA.
And I feel like you keep a really solid, good group around you. Yeah.
I think that this city can be crazy when you move here because it's so overwhelming. It's insane. And you have to just find people, and then sometimes it works out and you stay friends like us today. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. I'm telling myself that too, because I feel like when I meet people, I will dive into the relationship. I will give them everything that I have. I will support them with anything that they need. It's hard for me to let go of people, but I also feel like
it's okay to outgrow people too.
You really only have time for people that are going to show up as you show up in the friendship, in the relationship, support you, feed into your delusions. Yes, girl, you're going to win an Oscar. Yes, you're going to do these things, and it creates this amazing energy. And I'm so grateful for my community. I would probably be really mentally ill, really depressed if it wasn't for them. And your boyfriend.
Yeah.
My boyfriend of literally
25 years. No, he's so sweet.
My biggest supporter, to be completely honest. I don't know what I would do without him. In the show, he is in the show as his character. He's not in it as an actor, but there's a character named Chance, and it's about their love story. And that's him. Isn't that crazy?
Nolan's not in the space.
No, I've tried, dude. Like, I did get him signed to my agency, and I was like, hey, if you want to play my boyfriend instead of having somebody else play my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And why would we not put you in this commercial instead? So I'm happy that he thinks it's so funny, though. Like, he'll go to set when we book things together, and he's like, this is so not normal. He makes holograms for a living.
Oh, sick. Is this like holograms in the sky?
He works for Proto Hologram, and he's a software engineer. It makes their holograms, like, they're in a box, but it's like you can talk to somebody live without having them be there, and then you can also speak to people in different languages.
I just saw recently that they're doing AI holograms of loved ones who have passed.
Yeah.
I forgot who was doing it with their wife. It's like some famous actor.
I didn't know.
Or it might be a hologram or like an actual AI bot.
Yeah, like a generative.
It looks like a human, which I'm like, I don't know. I like the holograms.
This is a fine line. I'm here for AI, but I'm also not here for AI. Nolan's literally making these AI things. But at the same time, I'm really finding out all the information. And then I just tell all of my entertainment friends everything in tech. But there's great ways to use AI that's not taking away people's jobs. In the long term, there is going to be a number of new jobs feeding these AI platforms information and storytelling. There's going to be a lot of jobs happening in the next 10 years. Like when the internet started or any technological boom, everyone is scared, and we have reasons to be scared. There should not be AI actors. There should not be AI writers. I stand by that. You can tell when something is written by an AI, and you can tell when something is performed by an AI. And that's just the human experience. We can't be doing that.
They don't have souls or hearts. So
they don't have trauma.
I have to confess. She talks like me. It's so cute.
What do you use? What platform?
Literally OpenAI, like ChatGPT.
Great.
It's a paid version. So she has all the memory of everything.
Is it helpful?
It's amazing when it comes to productivity, keeping things in line. And then also I've trained her to use my voice. So if I need different things, it's great.
Cool.
But when it comes to therapy advice, or I'm like, is this gaslighting?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll ask her. But I always say AI shouldn't be used for therapy or anything deeper than that, because it's not heart and soul.
No.
And there's no way, I don't care how much technology or things that they're looping through for AI ChatGPT to learn, there's still not the soul within it. And also I believe in God. And so for me, it's like a catch-22, like you were saying. But you have to ask Nolan about the blue beam theory.
I've never heard about this.
You can go on TikTok and look at it. Don't get too deep into it because I don't know all the things about it. But basically, it's a hologram they put in the sky and they're using it for marketing. So, like, you've seen certain things like coming out of the sky, like a dinosaur, like a monster, and it's all for marketing purposes. I think there are some in downtown LA.
No way.
But the blue beam theory is the whole idea. I about this like 4 years ago before they were actually doing it in the sky.
She knew. She said, I'm getting a download. Hold on.
There's this whole conspiracy around what it's going to do. Like, maybe they might use it for a rapture situation or like a religious situation to think that God's coming again, for people to get into one religion, one currency, one world order situation.
That's like what's happening in this thing. That sounds crazy, dude.
I'm like a nerd when it comes to knowing about weird things like Antarctica, aliens.
Oh, yeah, the conspiracies. I didn't know that about you, actually. I'm also a huge conspiracy person. I'm constantly questioning the world, and I just feel like everybody's lying. I'm like, you're all liars. Just say it. We don't know anything. It's funny to me when people are like, even in science, when sometimes people say, this is the statistic and this is our studies, this is what they show. Okay, so how many people did you study? What was your control variable? Believe you. Because you can't really make any conclusion on anything. Like, we just don't have enough information as a human race to even make decisions like that. Like the moon landing. The moon landing is fake. Neil Armstrong.
He actually supposedly came out before he died and recorded a video saying that it was fake and that it was a movie production set in Hollywood. And I think some of the people on the set actually admitted to it too.
Are you kidding me? I did not know about this.
And this video is dated back a while ago. So do I think it's AI?
No.
It is a little bit tricky though, because
Well, there's
now
AI.
it's like crazy.
There was AI. People don't even really talk about this. AI has been around
forever.
It's been around for a long time. People have been using it in movies for a long time too, to build out like crowds and things like that. It's not real. Now it's just becoming a thing that people are talking about. Before that, it was CGI. You could do anything, really. You didn't need AI to make that video of him landing on the moon.
And the flags blowing in the air. And
there's no... Yeah, guys, like, you should have thought about that one. We're seeing right through it.
I'm like, how do people believe this? But also, not my problem. Exactly. I just can only control my beliefs.
Exactly.
I've gotten in too many debates with people, and I'm like, you know what? No.
I know, not going to do it. It's strange. People have their beliefs, and they're not willing to think outside the box and question things, and I just feel like you're never really going to find out the truth if you don't really take your own opinion out of it sometimes. You need to be open to other people's opinions.
Yeah. Even my dad, this was years ago when I first moved to LA, I told him about, not like Diddy specifically, but a similar situation to that whole thing that, number one, I experienced, but also I just heard about in general. And he was like, what is LA doing to you? Oh, wow. That's so crazy. And now, since everything came out, he was like, oh, wow, this person, what's the update? I'm like, oh, now you're interested.
Now you want to know.
I told you this 8 years ago.
It's bad. It's so easy to make it all look perfect. We're making movies and it's so creative and artful. There's no darkness here. We're just a bunch of artists. No. Wherever there's power, there's going to be manipulation. And there's been a lot of manipulation in entertainment because of the fact that people want to be seen. And then they're using, other people are leveraging that want and manipulating it, give them what they want, but also destroy their lives at the same time. And Britney Spears, like all of these different people come to mind. Justin Bieber, I can't wait for his biography one day so we can all know. You don't just get this way. It happened to you and they make you this way. Why do you think he looks so drained? Why do you think he's been depressed? Why do you think he has been struggling? It was a lot growing up for him. So many bad things happened to him. He was in the wrong hands.
And also I'm just like, leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Leave him and Haley alone. He has been on so many tours, put out so many albums. He's going to be creative when he wants to be creative. Yeah. Just leave him alone. People see these people playing their characters or what they perceive them as a singer, and they think that's who they are. And it's like,
scary.
Yeah. Them approaching you and differentiating the two of, hey, everyone's a real human. With real feelings, real lives outside of their careers, and treating those people as humans. It's so and you being in the industry and speaking on this stuff is so powerful because a lot of people are a little bit fearful to do it.
No, I think that's insane. I feel like we have to talk about these things.
I think that's what's going to make real change and also give power and fulfillment of what your purpose is doing.
Yeah.
And so that's amazing that you continue to be a light and a positive voice.
Thank you. I feel grateful that it wasn't me. I wanted to move to LA when I was 14 years old, and I had a meeting with a really big agency at the time, and my mom was like, you're not doing this. This was actually like 13, 14. And she was like, all right, yeah, we're going to take you right to Nickelodeon. That's going to be your world. You're funny. I was in an awkward place, so I was like this funny character. That's what she thought it was going to be. And that's what I presented as. And my mom was like, we are not moving here. We are not putting you in homeschooling. We are not doing this. I was so upset with her. I was like, oh my God, you're destroying my life. But actually, like, if I was in that, 13-year-old me for sure would have been in a bad situation if that happened. I was not ready to be around those types of people. And now that we are all hearing about the quiet on set stuff and all of these young actors that were given drugs and abused, molested, like just really taken advantage of, I would have probably just left the industry. If that was me as a child and that was my experience, I would have never done it again. I also probably would have ended up like Amanda Bynes or somebody like that. It's just really scary. So I'm grateful that I didn't get into it in that time. You're way too easily manipulated and your parents don't know. They just think it's success and they just know what they're being told. And of course, in Justin Bieber's example, it's Usher and P. Diddy. Like, they want to create your career. Of course you're going to be like, that's amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Where do I sign?
I know. It's funny you say Amanda Bynes because I was like, if I would have gotten in early on, I would have been Miley Cyrus, 100%.
Literally love her.
She's the best.
I'm so proud of her. I'm talking about her like I know her.
I know.
I'm so proud of her. She has just taken her career and she's been through every season. She is a powerhouse of a woman.
She stands by the things she does and the decisions she's made. She's a Sagittarius. Birthday's the day before mine. You make sense to me, girl.
Oh my
Same.
gosh, totally. She's been through crazy stuff in her relationships and in her career, and she's sober now. She's such a good role model for so many girls.
I feel like we could chat forever, but it's 3 already. I know, we had so much more to talk about, so you're going to have to come back.
Thank you for having me. I love you.
And then what are your name 100 new movies?
100 new movies. That's the name.
Can you tell us what's coming out that we can look out for to watch?
Yeah.
Any big things?
So I'm Olivia Levie. I'm a multi-hyphenate creative, and you can look out for the Tunnel Vision series. You can look out for She Listens Alone, and then all of my based on a true story directorial projects coming soon.
And then your socials?
My Instagram is at Alivia, Alivia, and my TikTok is at Alivia, Alivia_Levie, Levie. Alex, thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for coming.
I'm so proud of
This
you.
was so fun. I
so
feel like
proud
we
of you.
didn't even touch on everything I wanted to, so you're definitely gonna have to come back.
We can kiki all day.
Okay, thank you for coming. Love you guys, and that concludes this entry of the Dry Diaries. We will see you next week. Bye.